Have you ever thought about how a great story or even a delicious recipe often has a basic structure, but the best ones always seem to have a little wiggle room for personal flair or unexpected twists? Well, the same is wonderfully true for stand-up comedy. Yes, stand-up bit structure can and absolutely should be flexible. While there are foundational elements that make a joke work, the beauty of live comedy lies in its adaptability. A rigid approach often stifles the organic energy that makes a performance truly shine. The core reason for this flexibility is that comedy is a live, interactive art form. Title: Can stand-up bit structure be flexible? Paragraphs. Have you ever thought about how a great story or even a delicious recipe often has a basic structure, but the best ones always seem to have a little wiggle room for personal flair or unexpected twists? Well, the same is wonderfully true for stand-up comedy. Yes, stand-up bit structure can and absolutely should be flexible. While there are foundational elements that make a joke work, the beauty of live comedy lies in its adaptability. A rigid approach often stifles the organic energy that makes a performance truly shine. The core reason for this flexibility is that comedy is a live, interactive art form. Your audience is unique every night, with different energy levels, shared experiences, and sensitivities. What lands perfectly with one crowd might need a slight adjustment or an alternative punchline for another. A bit is not a static script. It is a living conversation you have with your audience, and it evolves through performance. To truly harness this flexibility, practice your bits not just as fixed sequences, but as collections of ideas and variations. Try different opening lines, experiment with changing the order of your tags, and be ready to trim parts that are not landing. Pay close attention to audience reactions and learn to trust your instincts to pivot mid-performance, perhaps even incorporating a new detail or observation that just popped into your head. This responsive approach transforms your performance from a recitation into an engaging experience. One insider tip is to develop what comedians call alternative outs or B material for your bits. These are pre-prepared, slightly different punchlines or tags that you can deploy if the first one does not hit as expected. Also, understanding the rule of 3 in comedy, where things are set up in a pattern of 2, then broken by the third, provides a solid framework. But remember, even this rule is meant to be bent and broken creatively once you have mastered its foundation, allowing for unexpected and funnier outcomes. Embracing flexibility in your stand-up bit structure empowers you to connect more genuinely with any audience, making your performance feel fresh, alive, and uniquely yours. It moves you from simply telling jokes to expertly crafting a dynamic comedic experience, building your confidence and making every show a chance for delightful discovery. Slides. Title: The Art of Flexible Comedy. Bullets. Label: Dynamic performance. Sentence: Great comedy, like stories or recipes, thrives with a flexible structure and personal flair. Label: Adaptable humor. Sentence: Yes, stand-up bit structure should be flexible to allow for organic, engaging performances. Label: Avoid rigidity. Sentence: A rigid approach often stifles the natural energy that makes a stand-up routine truly shine. Title: Why Flexibility Fuels Laughter. Bullets. Label: Live interaction. Sentence: Comedy is a live, interactive art form where each audience brings unique energy. Label: Audience response. Sentence: What works for one crowd may need adjustment for another to land perfectly. Label. Evolving material. A bit is a living conversation, not a static script, evolving through performance. Title. Mastering adaptable performance. Bullets. Label. Practice variations. Sentence. Practice bits as collections of ideas, trying different openings and changing tag orders. Label. Read the room. Sentence. Pay attention to audience reactions and trust your instincts to pivot mid-performance. Label. Responsive delivery. Sentence. This responsive approach transforms your performance from recitation into an engaging experience. Title. Unlocking your comedic potential. Bullets. Label. Alternative outs. Sentence. Develop alternative outs or B material to deploy if a punchline does not hit. Label. Rule of 3. Sentence. Understand the rule of 3 as a framework, then creatively bend and break it. Label. Dynamic engagement. Sentence. Embracing flexibility builds confidence and makes every show a delightful discovery.